it's like fear-based thinking, I want to like first start from that point. I think it's fear-based thinking. There's something that you're afraid of, right? When it comes to like that kind of like bisexual woman, right? And like the reason why there was so much outrage to what you said is because you weren't saying male-centered bisexual women. You were saying bisexual women are male-centered. That's what you said. I wanna see you grills. What love? Whose song was that actually?
Right. What is Gucci? Can eaters? My name is Push, aka the Creative Queer, the masculine cotton eating queen, kumganikazi drip magazi with fits, a captain of cool, a grill. God, and today and the Amandedwa, the Amanepiti, get between and surround you. What's up? Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Afikile. I'll leave it at that.
Let's do this. Oh, Naz, Tagazelozi.
Mommy, guys, okay.
Yeah, shut up.
I know those
Exactly. How you doing? Afikile is call it a friend and acquaintance who saw the video that I posted last week and said, "Girl, I got something to say. Let me call you in. Let's have a chat about this." And you know what? I'm not open. I was adamant. I said what I said. Yes, and like I said, I think yes, this channel is to a point subjective. It all come from my POV and my lived experience. But I did create the premise of this channel is for us to have conversations without straight people, without abanye abantu, and for us to just chop it up. So Afikile today is gonna share her POV, and I think maybe to begin the conversation, what would you say you identify as, so that we sort of contextualize, your POV, but also, where is it coming from?
Okay, I really don't like the labeling thing, to be honest.
Yes, fair.
I'm gonna be honest with that. But if I had to choose a label, I would choose pan. Yeah.
Pansexual. It encompasses, what you identify as and whatnot.
I think it's the widest box I can put myself in, because I think I'm very multifaceted.
Why do you feel like you're against a certain label or Zatina?
I don't like the limitation and the fact that it's kind of creates expectation. But if you're saying that you're lesbian, then you can never ever be with a nigga. You can never ever be seen with a nigga. So I don't like that limitation, because I also in life we grow, and I've changed so much since in the last 10 years. I don't think I'm the person I was when I was 22.
So was there ever a point in time that you first maybe identify as bisexual, and then you were lesbian, and then you were okay, I feel now pansexuality is what I will, is my landing strip. How has that, so in that journey or understanding of your own sexuality sort of kind of been?
For me, I first thought I was heterosexual.
Oh, heteronormativity.
I thought I was heterosexual. And then I was
then you realized that, okay.
And then I was okay, I'm bi. I was very happy. I literally I told my friends, and I was guys, oh my gosh, I'm out the ghetto. So
you wanna share how what was that look like? What age were you at when you were I'm realizing for when?
Maybe
as much as you want to share.
I'm trying to remember. I think I've always found women attractive. It's never not been a thing. I just thought it was normal because women are attractive,
So there was never a resistance for you, because for me, when I think about liking women the first time, I was I didn't know it was a true thing. I didn't know to say allowed to do it. So there was a lot of resistance from myself because of what society has said about homosexuality. So there was a lot of resistance before the accept but for you, was there ever some sort of a resistance with that identity of I like women?
There was. I think it was when queer women were kind of pressing themselves on me.
Okay.
Like, honestly, Great Dane used to be like the worst place for me. Like, but I liked it. I went to it, so I was like, we're always there. That's when I was like, nah, man, something's going on. Like let's talk about. Like, I talked about it with my friends. I was just like, why is it that there's like always like some like violent like outbursts from like some like queer like masculine presenting woman, like this other girl, he even like fought my friend that I went to Great Dane with. So I think I had resistance because it just felt like violence to me in the beginning.
Johnny says, as in violence, I don't understand what you say, as
like
in violence towards you.
My boundaries, like they just like touch me in ways that I didn't want to be touched. So like my immediate like reaction was to like
cave in a way. So you're saying like so studs or masculine women would hit on you, and you were like, you didn't like that attention, and because of that you were like rejecting and you were there, and therefore were like sort of like rejecting the idea to maybe I am queer.
I just didn't want to be in queer spaces, to be honest with you, and I was just like, I also had not come to like, I was curious, but I was just like I was curious, but I didn't think that I would like be sexually attracted to women. I just thought women were attractive, and I think maybe I would date a woman, but I didn't think that I could like be in a relationship with a woman in a romantic sense. And like it was during that time when that was happening, so I was like, hell no.
So there's a lot of mixed emotions I can imagine, but you know, your sexuality and your curiosity is being met with so much violence at the same time.
Yeah, that was.
So you're like.
That was ghetto, honestly. It was very ghetto.
And then how does it then land yourself towards some sort of, you know, acceptance?
I had like an experience with one of like my friends.
It always is the friend, yes, and and I guess friendship is a very, as girlhood is like a very safe space that you can actually do that. It's literally, yes. I resonate with that because now I think one of my first queer experiences was with a friend as well, and it like grew, and I was like, oh my god, what am I feeling?
Oh my god.
So how was that? And you know, what was that?
I was happy. I was like, oh my gosh, I was right. Honestly, I was right, but like obviously that didn't work out. My friend was like in a relationship, and she didn't want to make me her side chick, and she didn't want to leave that nigga out, like either. So it was very like a very heartbreaking like crush experience.
Yeah, it's always the first woman heartbreak.
Let go. My friends were doing suicide watch, like. But I wasn't suicidal, but they were like doing like psych ops basically, or doing psych at school at the time. Yeah. Like, okay, we're gonna have someone coming to your room round the clock
just to make sure we're all right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the first like you know, lesbian or woman heartbreak that just is so gut wrenching and like. And a piece of you gets like, I don't know. So I resonate a lot with that. It took me many years to kind of, because I think at that point, it's also about, you know, discovering, at least for me, like my sexuality and coming to grips with that. And then on the other hand, it's like this same person that I love so much broke my heart. And it's like, yeah, it's a very tough journey to then, you know, heal yourself. Okay, so then, you know, you date your friend and then she breaks your heart and then...
One thing about her, she was like, no girl. Also, like, I was very, like, in the streets at the time.
Okay.
With, like, men. So she was just like, I've seen how you're dealing with men. I don't want to be part of that.
Okay.
So she was just like, Sana, I'm so sorry. Like,
I don't want to be part of that. So
like, in the streets.
So was your friend also bisexual, lesbian? What was happening? You said she was...
She was bisexual. Yeah.
Okay. So you never really dated, but there was some sort of a romantic affliction or something that was happening between the two of you guys.
Nice.
That was significant enough.
That
was nice. Okay, so then you break up and okay, you guys don't work out, and then at some point then you're like, okay, I'm bisexual. I like women now. This was your reckoning, and then you just welcome that feeling, and then where to from there in terms of your dating life then?
After that, I didn't really date women until like, I don't know, maybe like 3 years after that.
Is there a particular reason? It's just a circumstantial thing, or was it still a journey that you were...
It was circumstantial. I think I was just like also like my like sample size was very limited. You know, like I would like... Yeah, like my sample size was limited. University is very limited, like in terms of like the people that you get to
meet.
See.
Okay.
And I also like was not about like like only queer people I knew were like my friends and like the people in my class, and I didn't like to like involve myself with people in my class like that.
Okay.
And I did at the end.
So it was just a matter of like circumstance, I guess.
Yeah.
Until maybe later on in life, and you're like, let me dabble back to women, and not back to women, but okay, because now the circumstance is a bit different, then there is an opportunity then to date women.
I think I became more intentional about it. If I'm gonna be honest about it, I think I became more intentional about it.
What informed the intention?
Like I think I just did not want to jola at that phase of my life. I just was not about that life. Yeah.
Okay, I want to press more on the intentionality about what changed in you that made you say, okay, let me put a bit more, intention into sort of living. Are you then saying, let me live my life as a queer person? Let me be enthusiastically queer? Or what does that intention look like at that point in your life?
I think I was just like, you know what? I moved. Like I finished school, then I moved.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was just like,
there will always be men.
The thing is that there will always be men. Like every time you turn the corner, there's a nigga, you know what I mean? So
it's just niggas everywhere.
Yeah, so I was just
your fathers, they literally everywhere you go.
Yeah, so I was just like, I think I want to focus my attention on this because like, it's not like so I just decided like intentionally to just like kind of like hone in and zoom into that.
No, fine. Okay, so now yes, I guess this then delve into, I guess mainly getting on today's topic. You identify then as pansexual, and you got a couple of things to say about what I said in that other video. Okay. I don't know where I want to steer the conversation, Kala. I just also want to grab my phone because I also want us to read a couple of comments and maybe also get your POV in essentially what people are saying. So, okay, the first point that I want you to maybe chime in on is I reflected on, what I had said, and I was like debating with you even before you came here. I was like, guys, explain Lemos in the fuller video, but the context is with primarily, my qualm is with male-centered bisexual women who have made me feel like I'm an option. And I understand now also that in that video, and I admit to go to that, I was speaking from a point of hurt.
Yes.
Right? I'll admit that.
When I was
fine.
watching that, I was like, who hurt you?
Bonge!
Let's unpack this. Like, who hurt you?
Okay, let me tell you what I was feeling in that video.
Okay.
I will admit that I have a sense of resentment.
Yes, definitely.
Call it towards bisexuality, because I was actually thinking about it, but do I actually share the same resentment towards pansexual women? I don't really.
Why?
But I don't know. I'm still trying to kind of figure that out because I'm like, I have a resentment because it feels like sometimes bisexual women have the option to opt out of the connection they have with the woman, whoever they're engaging with, and go decide to date a man and live happily ever after. I have an overall resentment towards the life in general that I look at heterosexual people and I'm like, you guys can just easily fall pregnant. I have to pay my lesson. I have to plan for it. Number two, I have to convince my family and Maman Zalayo that my sexuality is valid. I'm a human being. So it feels like you as a bisexual person, not you personally, but you can have this very beautiful experience and I can make you feel all of these beautiful emotions and things, and you go lala on my chest and you've never felt this way before, and that I gave you the world's best orgasm and whatnot. But when you get up out of my bed and you live my life, you can be done. You can walk into society and you can be perceived as heterosexual. You can be accepted. Whereas unshia apa, where I have to fight these battles and these things. So that is essentially what, when I was watching the video, I can see that is what I was feeling.
That was the energy. Honestly.
No, I admit.
That was definitely the energy. And I was just like I wanted to unpack. I was like, because I psychoanalyzed you actually. I was just like, no.
It's in psychoanalysis about.
No, like obviously I can't remember what I was thinking at the time. Like my brain goes in another direction.
Yeah.
Like,
So, okay, maybe particular to what I've said, Kim, do you understand? This is where now I was coming from. Gucci. I have an overall resentment about it, maybe towards heterosexuality and particularly towards bisexual women, because these are sort of, we have this intimate relationship, but then out there we are you leave me in the ruins
In the war.
of, yes, you leave me in the war of this whole thing, and it's like
it's not
it
my
was what
cross
it
to
is.
carry. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I have my own crosses to carry as a woman that presents like this.
Yeah.
In the queer space, I have my own crosses to carry.
Fine.
One of the crosses is the one that you were busy like lifting up, like making me, putting on my back in that video, actually, which is that the assumption that I am always looking to opt out of like relationships with women, and it's not something that I take seriously, and it's not something that I'm gonna personalize it, obviously, and it's not something that I would like consider as long term, you know, and that's like it's hard to then relate and like to be in relationships with like women who think that you're thinking, who assume that you're thinking is short term, because now but like they also treat you in a certain way because they think
the same thing.
Good time, not a long time.
True.
If you're not here for a good time, like you see. Like now, like you're stuck now, but like you have to be convincing someone about serious now.
Okay.
Like how can you like convince someone that you're serious about them? Like if they actually believe that you're not, how are you gonna be able to convince someone?
True.
You know.
True.
It also like that thinking also is like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know.
And actually, in the comment section in that video, there were a couple of bisexual women who were actually even saying to me, "But no, I've been in a relationship with a lesbian woman, and she actually, in her mind, I think bandi serious." So it's almost this battle of projection, but uzanshia, I guess,
And
she
at the time, like,
and it's
you're literally sitting
Eh,
like
what?
ready to
Uzanshia,
pound, like,
yes.
okay, like, and then
uyazi ba itipe ngijongile ba hayibo uzangishiya nini wena
Uyazi ufihla ibhanti, like,
unyanisile unyanisile yeah. Okay, no, that is true. I don't know what to do about that, but ngiyayiva siyibekile on the table. Okay, fine. No, fair. I hear that. I think then more as a conversation, and I don't know what the answers to this is, because I don't really share the same resentment towards pansexual women. And I was asking myself,
because you thought I was bi, actually.
Yes.
So, like, what changes now? Like, when you receive that information, what changes?
And
that's interesting.
that's because I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, and maybe let me speak about my experience again, and maybe my experience is a bit skewed, like I said, that bisexual women were maybe particularly, and some people call them maybe bi-curious, maybe wearing a serious gun, but whatever. But the pansexual people that I've dated, or women that I've dated, tend to, I don't know, out and sharp. Like they were never. I never felt that sense of they can opt out. I don't know if it was a matter of maybe they approach.
Really committed to it. Like
they felt there was something that felt more committed.
That's in your head, though.
You think so?
That's in your head. That is literally it's based on what your perception is of the person. You're projecting your own like preconceived notions on the person.
You think so?
Yes, and therefore like it's much easier for you to believe that this person is committed to me because you don't have that baggage that you're applying to them.
And yes, because I'm trying to think, because literally of all the pansexual women that I've dated, baby and Tata with the seriousness, and I felt that, and I don't know, maybe it was a matter of. And this is now maybe and it could be wrong, that it's almost as though pansexual women approach a relationship with a less rigid approach, and a less gendered approach.
Okay.
Whereas because a bisexual woman primarily dates the binary genders, man and woman, because by data in order, there's a particular way that they are with men, and then when they date a woman, there's a particular way they think they should be with women. But with a pansexual person, they're more evolved in their way of thinking about gender, and they're more attracted to the human person. And my experience with them, they won't even gender me in the sense that I'm masculine or feminine or whatever, that they're okay with however it is that I express my femininity and masculinity. And I don't know, there's like a synergy that I felt in my experience.
Like
I don't know.
Like an understanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of landed, but because I don't know whether and this is why I'm trying to explore. Good turning that I feel this particular way about bisexual people, particularly. Is it because of their binariness or their gendered approach when it comes to dating? I don't know.
I think it's like fear-based thinking. I want to like first start from that point. I think it's fear-based thinking. There's something that you're afraid of, right? When it comes to like that kind of like bisexual woman, right? And like the reason why there was so much outrage to what you said is because you weren't saying male-centered bisexual women. You were saying bisexual women are male-centered. That's what you said. Yes.
Okay.
So now you're basically like painting every bisexual woman there is like on this planet with that brush about everyone is male-centered. And they think like this and they function like this and badlala ngathi sonke basically.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay, fair. I got a lot of thinking to do. I guess on that.
Yeah. I want to know who hurt you. Like I really.
Yo, boinge. Boinge. I mean, I don't want to take out too much of the business of the people that I date. I want to protect them because
you don't have to say like who it is.
At some point, but and it has been sort of more than one bisexual. I mean, I've dated a couple of bisexual women. So, yeah, I guess a lot of them, and even one of them had told me that, you know what, in our relationship we had troubles, we had problems. But at some point I was just like, actually, Ansafuni anymore, I don't want to date women anymore. I'm going to go back to dating men. And that left a very bitter taste in my mouth. Because, so I see at a crossroad in our relationship where we're trying to work it out. We have these issues. We're trying to work on traumas and all of that. And I'm doing the most. I'm putting in the work. I'm trying to understand them. And then at the end, they're like, this is now when we've broken up and we're having a conversation as exes. And they were like, when I look back at that, I see myself and I'm like, actually, I gave up at some point because I was like, the burden of having to date a woman is just too much. And when I look at it, I try to empathize because maybe I look at her and the other bisexual women that I've dated. They, as a society, I guess in general, come from a religious background, come from a background where there's just context. Yes, context, is very heteronormative and kunzima to fight against society. So essentially that is that resentment. But oh shit, damn.
She can opt out of this fight.
Yes, that's what it definitely felt like.
Like actually deal with this.
Le cross I phone we carry nam.
Yeah.
Going to type guys so yes, it comes from that and
it is like I understand like your feeling of like, resentment and like frustration. But I also think that you can't put that on bisexual women.
But what do I do with it? What do I do with this feeling?
Work like you.
And what pillow do I punch?
This one.
What pillow do I punch?
No, like I think it's.
Like what do I do with it? It's in the room. It's in the
like talk to it in the room. Don't leave the room like with it chilling in your purse and then, like go where
everywhere I go. No, fair. I just don't know what to do with it.
Deal with it. Like there's so many ways. I feel like talking about it is
a step in the right direction.
It's gonna be something that helps you also to like kind of like spell it out for yourself.
Yeah.
It's gonna help you like spell it out for yourself as well. Like about like what is the actual issue? Like the more you talk about things in safe spaces, like
they do now. They can't go therapy, but I think I have to go back. But I don't think my therapist would understand.
You're never done.
It's too complex. I need to get a queer therapist to understand these intersectionalities. But maybe I need to go back.
I feel like talking to queer people is like very
therapeutic.
Queer people that can like actually like come and like dig into the nuance of things. Like me, I like smart people. Like my friends are smart. I don't like. I can't be friends with them. If you can't think like laterally and deeply about things, I get bored. I leave. I clock out. So I think it's important to like talk about those things over and over again until like, because you were saying that your friends don't agree with you. Yes. So talk to your friends.
Okay, fine. But I'm just going to say not all of them. Because for me, it just ends at, not all bisexual people are like that. And then what? It just feels like it is, and perhaps I want to. It's a good thing that you're here today to have this conversation with me, because I think so. Tonight I want to talk to maybe the bisexual people as well. I don't know if that will. But ndifuna sithetheni ndikwazi uba ndikwazi uba honest without you saying hi biphobic and without that defense.
There has to be like because now I was like very careful to like not come here like kind of like being like, because like my first reaction was just like I used to be a fighter, you know. I used to
tomatoes, throw tomatoes at me.
Carrying fire, you know what I mean. So I was just like, let me not like approach you with that. Like I also had to like also talk to myself before like coming here and like having this conversation with you, because I didn't want you to be defensive.
Yes. True.
Like you to like have this conversation and think that like you must be defending yourself and like defending your honor and your opinion.
Yeah.
I wanted to like kind of gain like more understanding into your thinking, and also like, you know, so we can do an exchange of information, you know. Like I think it's like exchanges are good. Like we get to see and receive like insights when we actually have conversations without having to feel like
yes. And I think to what you're saying, I really do appreciate that, because I do feel like I said in the beginning, there is a lot of tension between lesbians and bisexuals, and we haven't really had this conversation and sat down. But it's indo, and maybe I'm not the only.
I'm like understanding it now from like from what you've like told me. I think I understand, because I didn't actually think about it like that. I didn't. I was aware that like obviously like I can opt out because of the way that I present.
Yes.
I can always opt out. Honestly, like when push comes to shove.
Iyandidika loo nto leyo. Iyandifrustrate loo nto leyo. Iyandidika loo nto, yebo. And I need to be honest about that.
Out. Like if I want to, but like I'm not a person that opts out. Like it's not like we can't be assuming that because a person is able to opt out, they will opt out. That's the issue. Because some people, like most people that I know, are not trying to opt out, but it also creates divide.
Yeah, true.
When like you are coming at it from your perspective, and I'm not trying to opt out, but you're saying I'm opting out. I'm like, okay, fight your battles.
Wait, okay,
fight your battles.
I can see.
Go off.
Okay, I can see how that can then
because you can't be attacking
that
me and expecting me to be fighting
defend
for
you
you
as
like,
well.
You really can't.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Things about me that are outrageous and like offending me, like in like the core of like my identity basically, and then expecting me to get up and fight with. It's basically what black men do to like black women.
That's so true. That's so true. Okay, ndiyakuva. Damn. Sisabalaza sonke, guys. Come on, man. Okay, no, man. I appreciate this conversation, actually. I think indivule amehlo, definitely, and some of the blind spots that I've had, because I've had this very like tunnel vision about what I think this is, and you know what? Yes, my vision is skewed or my perspective is skewed. Doesn't matter. This is my experience, and you guys never understand. But yeah, I think indivule amehlo, in trying to sort of understand it holistically, that we are one, big community, and we have these so nuanced experiences, and we can't say because yours isn't like mine, it's less valid or whatever.
Or that I don't see yours and I don't empathize with you. You know what? Like I'm very empathetic as a person, and I understand. Like I'm even empathetic towards men, which means disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you're doing too much now.
Yeah.
But like, I am very empathetic, and I always like think from like another person's perspective. That's like I always play like,
trying to see a panoramic view, independent view.
I like to like think about things very laterally. Like I like to I like to think honestly. I like to explore ideas. So I'm always like willing to see something from a different person's perspective, and to also understand their perspective. And in as much as I can do that like by myself and just like imagining how you would feel, it's better to do that in conversation.
Yeah. Then we'll be in a conversation with, because now when I was debating this in my head, I was like, the man in the city, this could be somebody else's perspective, but really isn't really having that view. Having the conversation will definitely open up ingqondo yakho into other people's perspectives. I don't know where we were rudely interrupted by memory card. I'm behind the scenes. Dingo lights, dingo camera, dingo action. Exactly. But anyway, I actually wanted to read some of the comments. I don't know, should I read the Instagram comments or the YouTube comments?
Which ones are spicier?
Yes, the spicy ones. Okay, fine. I'm gonna read the spicy comments.
The nitty-gritty of it.
Yeah, because as is the aggression are not constructive.
Let's not address those ones.
Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna name names, Gap. So someone said, while lesbians have fought to be defined by who they are not society for decades, bisexual women are fighting the same battle now, where they are seen as dabbling in gayness. As lesbians, we need to give space for bisexual women to speak for themselves and tell us who they are. After all, we are not defined by men, so why would bisexual women? Fair point. Okay, this person is sort of agreeing with what you said earlier. We're fighting the same battle, and we're essentially sort of projecting that onto bisexual women as well, and saying, okay, no, that's a fair point. Fine, guys, fine. What's this? Unfortunately, the ones that disagree with me. Okay, as a bisexual woman, I'll never date another woman who thinks this narrowly. Okay, fair. Okay, the next person said, what most of you don't realize is that there is a lot of bisexual women that end up identifying as lesbians due to biphobia. And there's this constant need in the community of wanting to live... but in the closet, within the closet. Okay. There's this constant need in the community of wanting to label people, which then leads to some of you experiencing bi-curious people and labeling them as bisexual. Also, stop generalizing. See, the conversation, honestly. Okay, I actually wanted to maybe what your take is on this, because a lot of people were saying that what I was talking about in the video was more of bi-curious women and not necessarily somebody who is bisexual. But then I was asking to myself, okay, but what do I do with that? Because in my experience, this person is telling me that they're bisexual. And maybe yes, but maybe retrospectively when we look at it, we can say maybe they were just bi-curious and they were not invested, blah, blah, blah. But then what do I do with that?
I think attribute the experience to the person, not to the group.
Because then labeling it and then attributing it to the bigger label, then that's where we deal with it. Okay, Manditi, that leads to the murky waters of biphobia.
Yeah.
If I then...
It's like generalizations in general are dangerous. It will always lead you to where we are sitting today.
Fair.
Generalize, you are always going to be wrong, basically.
Because Zange, I didn't date all the bisexual women ever.
Even in science, they say 99.9%.
Because about 100%. Fair. That's true.
We honestly cannot be like viewing things as like black and
blanket statements about people.
Yeah, and I think it's important to like view people as individuals. I think like I meet every like single person as a person. That's like one of like my like core like principles. Every single person I meet, I will meet you as a human being. I don't care if you're the president of our country or if you are a para in the streets. I do not care. And I will treat you as a human, and then you will determine who you are in that interaction, and I will leave with what you have given me.
And then not make a general statement about black people are like this, or women are like this, or femmes are like this. But I thought what is that's 10.
I know they
I think he has divided with your generalizer abantu. Yeah,
like,
that is true.
Can I like also say something to you? Like I think that I would love to see you like having conversations that are not as like divisive. And I understand that like obviously like your lived experience is your lived experience.
True.
Your experiences are your experiences. But I think that in like approaching this platform, obviously it's your platform, you can do whatever you want with it. But I think it would be better and more productive and better for you actually and society in general if you approached like the questions that you have or the issues that you have like from a point of trying to solve the problem or trying to understand the
and not
problem.
to drive a narrative.
Yeah, because it's very divisive and there's no need for us to be fighting amongst ourselves. Like it's very embarrassing, honestly. Because
True.
like, imagine the straights watching like your channel and then they're like,
True.
Like,
True. No, that's definitely something I've always wanted to do, I think, for the channel. But yeah, there's other behind the scenes sort of difficulties with sort of getting people on the platform. Some people don't want to be seen in society. People don't want to be perceived. There's a lot of behind the scenes of, you know, trying to open up a conversation, which has obviously led me to, you know, run things on my own. But absolutely,
like honestly,
absolutely,
some of us want to partake.
Yes,
like,
and people don't want to have, you know, to be nitpicked, you know, by abanye abantu. But
exactly. Because like there's so much like negativity on the internet, which is very like it consumes the whole narrative of whatever you say. Like I think people just focus on what is wrong and that's like what makes things more juicy.
Yes, that's true. But no, Shem, I do receive that feedback, cool, because it is for the people it is for the community. So anitati lightly at all. So definitely shosho ndiyakova.
Thank you.
Let's see another comment. One of the first comments. I think you're wrong for individualizing. Invalidating. Wow. Invalidating bisexual.
You're invigilating bisexuals. That's what you're doing.
You're an invigilator. My bad. I think it's wrong for invalidating bisexual women who date lesbian women. Simple thing here would be for lesbian women to exclusively date other lesbian women if these are the issues, if these are the constant issues, if these issues are consistent.
Honestly, because there are so many other people.
Fine, but Salifuna and Jenaibo.
And it's funny actually. Like in reality,
deep down inside.
And it's funny not born. Honestly,
it's like a love-hate relationship. Like we had unpacked, but there's this overall resentment that I was carrying, but at the same time, like I love you as a human being, as a person. So it's hard for me to say, I'm not going to date bisexual. Well, personally, I'm spending so long about Nyajola, but yeah, that's not the point. That's not the point. Stay tuned, Nina. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to this channel. This comment goes on to say, everyone likes what they like, and lesbian women are responsible for choosing things when they don't work out as expected. No bisexual woman is forcing a lesbian woman to date them either. So don't you think that the chat should be, why lesbian women date bisexual women if these are the fears and our common denominators? So why do we...
Actually, I like that. Actually, thank you, because I also wanted to come.
Why would I choose to date bisexual women? It's because classes dibana as bisexual being. To be honest with me, like we're just connecting on a connection level. It's only retrospectively that these are the feelings that I then think about.
Like a red flag for you, right? And something that you have seen historically has affected you in a negative way. It's like people who are insecure. I don't like to date people that are insecure. Like that's hell for me. Like that's, like it's like furnace of fire.
Yeah. So
like if I see that you're insecure, then
still choose to date,
I won't choose to date you if like I've seen enough now. I know that I can't make you secure. You must do it for yourself.
True. So I'm trying to back it to I'm trying to hone in on the conversation of if I in a world that in the statement that this person is making, as a lesbian woman, why would I choose to date a bisexual woman? It's because didn't I benefit of the doubt, Mandit?
Yeah. No, honestly,
I'm trying to
believe. If if that is your core belief system, you believe that you're like, yes, this is what I believe about bisexual women, then why do you keep doubting it? Like, why don't you trust your instincts? Even if your instincts are wrong. And
yes,
like,
true.
Like completely false thinking. You as yourself, if you're saying that you don't want to date someone who, I don't know, who like is a doctor, and
true,
you're like,
true.
oh, no, maybe this one is different. Like this doctor is not the same as the other. Like, trust, like you.
Because I think it's now betraying myself, and it goes back to that self-fulfilling prophecy that even though I am giving you the benefit of the doubt, I still believe in this thing. And it therefore will be a self-fulfilling prophecy when we are dating, and then I will be like, yeah, I've been chill. Yeah.
One of my friends told, like we're having a conversation about like dating and stuff, and she was like we keep recreating the same situations because we want, like subconsciously, we want when the same situation that like traumatized us to confront us again, we want to react in a different way and to win it.
So, we want to. Yeah, I get it from when you speak about it as a trauma response in Yaguva, because it's almost like we create those environments because that was almost kind of like it's what we know, and it keeps us safe. It keeps us saying it keeps us. It gives us like excuse things are always going to be like this. Yes, that's true.
Like you're always going to be right.
Yes.
Because also like
keeps me safe. It keeps me.
Because you're also pushing the other person away. So obviously you're going to be right because you're pushing the other person away. And humans are humans. Like I can feel when you're like treating me like in a way that's offish.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. It is a trauma response, isn't it? Did I trauma about this actually?
Psych.
That I need
101.
to. Let's see what other comments. Let's see. Linda's comments. Okay, we read that one. Read this one. You're biphobic. Tomatoes.
Honestly,
tomatoes.
I ChatGPT the definition of biphobia. Because I was just like, nah, like this feels wrong. But why is it wrong? Because obviously, like I understand that you've had negative experiences, but the way that it's coming across is very like biphobic, and it is biphobic because you are using like, it's like saying like a person that's not black having experienced a black person stealing from them, and then like from then on every black person.
Yeah, and I say, no, it's those black people that are in the townships that are like that. But yeah, all of them are like that. I get it. The next comment says, you are, and it's okay. So I am biphobic, and it's okay. Those women do not see relationships with women as valid and are wasting your time, / are not really gay. But you saying what you're saying is weird because your experience is, what word is this? How do you say this word? Albeit. What does that mean?
English.
Albeit common are not fact. And
albeit, like maybe it means like therefore it is or something like that.
Are not common in fact. Basically, your experience is not fact. Okay, fair, I can accept that. And what you're doing is invalidating bisexual women who do love women because of a few that don't. If I can equate, you sound like a straight woman who won't date a bisexual man. Who won't date a bisexual man because he's gay. You're saying she's straight.
Click.
Damn!
Clack.
Okay, wait. Without defending myself too much, I was actually a friend of.
I love this person. I love you.
You know. Actually, a friend of mine actually brought up this point. You the same, or how is what I was saying different to when straight women say they don't date bisexual men. And then
So I love you, bisexual, but you guys are my favorite.
Oh, bisexual men.
Thank you.
So I was saying then in response to that, no, Tomam, it's not the same thing because straight women are saying bisexual men are gay, and therefore gay is wrong. So it's not this. That's what I said in response to my friend when they said. I said, no, straight women think bisexual men are gay, and therefore gay is wrong. That's why that is not the same conversation. I'm not saying bisexual people are wrong. I'm just saying resentment.
No,
You hear me?
you're comparing apples to pears. I had to do the math in my head.
Mm-hmm.
The comparison is that by you saying what you have said, you are saying the same thing that straight women say about bisexual men. That bisexual men, they don't want to date bisexual men because, in fact, bisexual men have no interest in women. They don't like women like that. They are actually gay. But they are now dating women.
Oh, I see.
As some kind of like a beard experience.
Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even I no, for sure. Because I was like, nah, it's not the same thing. I don't think bisexuality is wrong. I think it's fine. But, okay, no, fair. Okay, fair. You're ubuxhosa ke uthi phakude hayi ke umfumene phakude fine no ninibhaqile no you know what I think in closing thank you for sort of calling me in and calling me out and for having the conversation in a very empathetic way because like you said I could have been defensive had you come and thrown tomatoes at me and and I think also that's the intention of this channel because sometimes in all of our wokeness and our nuanceness, sometimes it's very isolating to have a conversation with somebody and somebody who's in a way who comes across as like more learned about something and like yes ufunon uthe what yes hong it takes us nowhere but to have a conversation to be sitting down on the floor here having this chat and
like grounded
yes I really do appreciate it and I think it's the premise of this channel is to learn from other people and like you saying like it's not to drive a certain narrative but to learn about each other within the community so I really do appreciate it and I hope nani nivulekile ingqondo guys ningafani nami and stuff like that and you know what stop capping and put on your thing in caps is the lesson. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say in closing and in
I want
this whole conversation?
Say that we must all lead with love. I know I'm gonna sound like that girl on Mean Girls. She was like,
yeah, that scene at the end of Mean Girls. Yeah.
Like literally, that's basically where I'm getting at. I think we must lead with love. Like as queer people, like there's enough like that's happening that is against us.
Yeah.
There's so many people that like that hate us, that don't like want to even understand and want to see us as human or see us as equal to them in a sense of like being human. That I think if we approach each other with love and not fight one another, then we will achieve a lot more. And I know that there's like some people that are like I've also been traumatized by queer people, and I try to not like lead with judgment. I have so many things to say about studs. And
maybe we'll do another episode. Unpack is that. Yes. We need to do a sequel, Gazan. I want to hear it all.
I don't want to go there.
Don't you ever go there?
But it's like, yeah.
Okay, fine. Fair. That's true. Okay, no, I received that love, and I definitely felt that love in this conversation with you. So really, I appreciate it. And yeah, man, thank you so much for coming. I hope you'll open your heart to coming again, and maybe other topics. I'll pick your brain, go to, what else you wanna chat about. But yeah, man, guys, tell me in the comment section. What have you learned through Yongele Saga and stuff like that? Oh yes, if I invite you, Afigile back on the channel, what do you want us to chat about? She has a lot to say. We've been chatting off camera as well, so there's a lot I actually want to pick her brain about. But yeah, man, tell me in the comment section how you feel about it. But otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Mwah. Bye.